Driving down the road that I grew up on once again. It's when I pass your door the memories come back.
Well, hello and welcome back to another vlog. I do hope you can hear me. It's incredibly windy. I've come out to Spurn Point in some fairly questionable conditions, quite a lot of cloud in the sky and not a lot of light, but I am looking for some very minimal compositions. I've been watching quite a lot of Stuart McGlennon recently. He's a fellow YouTuber and photographer who's fantastic, and he's been on the Isle of Harris taking coastal images, and I feel quite inspired by those. So I've actually found something already. I'm hardly any of the way down Spurn Point. I'm quite near where I parked, but there's something that I had in mind, and there's something quite similar that's caught my eye. So I'll talk you through that and show you what I'm going to take a picture of. This is what I'm going to be taking an image of. It's these grasses on the dunes that, because of the amount of wind, are just giving this lovely sort of movement around, and as you can see just off in the distance, if I just zoom out a little bit further and sort of tilt you up, but you can see clouds and textures in the sky that I'm really enjoying. So I suspect it'll be a black and white image with quite a lot of contrast. I think I'm probably going to pop a polarizer onto my camera to just darken the sky a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to play around with that composition, and I'll show you that now. But I'm making this fairly short as the battery on this video camera is running out, so poor prep as always.
And we started up a band in my garage. We thought our dream would take us so far, but after a week or so it all just fell apart. But we were higher than the ceiling, middle fingers to the sky. I remember thinking if I only could stop the time right now. Way back when you didn't care what they said, people could stare, I didn't give a damn, cause I was being next to you way back when. So
yeah, I am still struggling a little bit. I mean, it's hard because I'm walking into the wind the whole time, and also I am walking in sand, so struggling slightly. There's lots of really cool patterns in the sand where darker sand has been blown over the lighter stuff, and it's creating all sorts of cool shapes. But that on its own is not enough to make up an image. The guy I was talking about, Stuart, he has been taking some pictures on the Isle of Harris where he's using the lines in the sand to take you through dunes, and then up into beautiful surroundings, the Scottish hills in the background and things like that, and an interesting sky. So I've only really got one of those elements at the moment, so that's not making much of an image, and they're not interesting enough on their own to make up a nice close-up abstract. So at the moment I've just got the one shot of the grass with the clouds, but further down the beach there's more sort of grassy hills and things, so I'm hoping down that way things will open up and I'll be a little bit more inspired. So I don't know why I've got this vignette on the outside of this, not so sure. Anyway, we'll head further down. As I keep saying, I really hope you can hear me. This wind is horrendous, but it's blowing away the cobwebs, so yeah, we can't complain. Okay, so, oh sorry I'm so dark. We'll see what's further down, and I'll hopefully have something to show you. Stay with it, please. There will be something to look at. Okay, so I think I've actually found something. Using the patterns in the sand, I've just sort of followed it along. I've been really careful not to walk across the bit that I wanted to photograph, and it's just got this sort of paintbrush look to it where these dark bits of sand have just come over the top of it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very minimal. There's one tiny little stone that's in it. That stone is the subject. It's absolutely minuscule in the frame, and I've just given it loads of what we call negative space, so space that's got nothing in it. Well, it's not negative space, it's got the patterns in the sand, but it's not got any other stones near it. So I really like that, and now that I'm looking around, I'm actually seeing some more compositions as well, I think. So but I'll certainly put that one up, and any more that I get here. If I could just take a minute now to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, that really helps. And do check me out on Instagram as well, Ben M. Rousel, on there, where I put the best selection of my images on there. So as always, I hope you can hear what I'm saying. So yeah, I'll take that image now and I'll put it up on the screen for you. Nice. Woo! Really what I was looking for, I'm so happy. Right, I found something else. I think this will probably be the last shot that I'll show. Just take this hood down, looking utterly ridiculous. Right, it's so fab, this part of the beach, because I managed to find exactly what I wanted, which is finding unspoilt bits of sand. And because of the wind and the way it's blowing sand across the beach, it's just giving these lovely lines and layers that are just coming out beautifully. The last of the light is, I mean, there hasn't been any light, but the sun is setting now, so as I say, it's probably the last image. So as I've just walked around the outside of the sand, obviously making sure again not to walk across it, I was taking some B-roll on that camera of just some lone grasses that were just sticking out with the lines of the sand textures behind it, and it was just too beautiful a shot not to then take a picture of. So you'll have seen the B-roll, and I'll take the image now. So it's not hugely interesting, and the lines aren't as prevalent as I would like them to be, but in Lightroom afterwards I'm going to up the contrast. It'll be black and white, and I'll really, you know, drop the blacks and really try and get that contrast between the light and dark parts of the image. Again, lots of negative space, so there's the little bits of grasses in the bottom right, and then all of the top left, well, half of the image is just sand. It just looks so perfect. It's so unspoilt, and just, it's like fresh snow. That's what it feels like, which is far rarer around these parts of Hull. But yeah, so definitely worth the trudge out into the crazy winds. Luckily there's no rain, and it's just completely empty. On one slightly negative note, this place is covered in litter. Everywhere I look there's paper cups or bits of plastic, and which is disgusting. So anyway, I would love to pick some of it up, but there's too much to even begin to know where to start with picking it up, so that's just how people are, I suppose. Anyway, I'll take this image, and I'll say thank you very much for watching. I hope it hasn't been too dull. Not a lot's happened, and you'll forgive the lack of drone footage, but I'm sure you can understand why. I do not think I could fly it in this. So yeah, plus it would annoy people around here, so yeah, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Yeah.
Driving down the road that I grew up on once again. It's when I pass your door, the memories come back again.